Hello, my lovelies. I am Madam Crystal Butterfly, and today I am going to be reviewing Turning Tables by Alice Takawira. So, before I tell all of you, my lovelies, what this interesting book is all about, why don't we have a little chat about the author?
Alice Takawira has always been an avid reader since she was a child. She always had her head in a book and was an active member of 3 libraries. All that reading played a role in stimulating her creativity. She started writing at the age of 13. During that time in her life, she wrote a bunch of comic books. Alice enjoys the creative process and she always wanted to write a book and have it published. When she finally got more of an opportunity to work on her writing, she was able to develop a story she felt was good enough to share with the world. Her experiences as an African immigrant who lived in the United Kingdom and the United States played a big role in her inspiration. Alice's interactions with other immigrants from Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa taught her that they all had faced similar challenges when it came to adjusting to settling in a foreign country. Some challenges involved navigating the complex immigration system to get legal residency that allows someone who immigrated to study and work legally. Outside of that not being easy, you also have to factor in the problem of having little or no family around, adjusting to a new culture, and dating getting a little more complicated. She decided that she wanted to make a story involving things an immigrant might go through when living in a new country. Her story talks about this subject through a love triangle involving her characters Maita, Ade, and Chris. She created these characters from stories she heard, things she observed, and interactions she had in the past 19 years after she left her home country of Zimbabwe back in 2003. In her story, she wanted to highlight issues about interracial and multicultural dating, racism, black tax for immigrants, domestic violence, and challenges immigrants may face. When it came to creating and trying to publish this story, Alice's greatest fear was failing. She didn't have a lot of confidence in her ability to tell an engaging story. She also feared her story would not hold up to the same standard of books that she reads. Part of this fear did come from her not having a background in writing. Alice was also a science major in high school and studied physical therapy and public health at university. When it comes to writing, she's self-taught. Luckily, thanks to the support from her husband, friends, and family, she eventually got over her fear and wrote what came naturally to her and hoped for the best. I'm grateful she did because she crafted quite an interesting story. Also, she is definitely not done with the whole story writing thing yet. She sees crafting a great story as a gift from God, and He will give her ideas for the next book that she writes. Alright, so what exactly is it about books that Alice loves so much? Well, she feels that reading is more fun than watching a movie. Books open up a person's mind and can keep them wanting more. Also, books do provide everyone with not only entertainment, but an education.
When I read Turning Tables, I found the characters that the author created to be very interesting. And it was fun to see how the characters were able to push the plot of the story forward. To give you an idea of what I am referring to, let's take a moment to discuss the plot of Turning Tables.
Maita, a Zimbabwe graduate student, has returned to London on summer break with one goal: to reunite with Ade, her Nigerian ex-boyfriend. She made a terrible mistake when she broke up with Ade, and now she wants him back. On the flight to London, she meets Chris, a British gentleman who is instantly captivated by Maita and pursues her relentlessly. When Ade rejects Maita's efforts to rekindle their romance, she turns to Chris. As a couple, Maita and Chris are forced to confront racism, the complexities of an interracial relationship, and their insecurities. But Maita has never forgotten Ade, nor has he ever gotten over her. Then, in a sudden turn of events, a determined Ade resurfaces and attempts to reconnect with Maita. But Chris is doubly prepared to keep her at any cost, unleashing a dangerous chain of events that will forever alter the course of all three lives. How far will each man go to win her love? Turning Tables is an engaging romantic women's fiction novel that explores the challenges and triumphs of multicultural and multiracial relationships. A poignant and extraordinary story of love, missed opportunities, and second chances.
All right, my lovelies, we are going to take a little bit of a closer look at a few of the characters in Turning Tables. Let's begin with the story's leading lady.
The story starts off with Maita getting on a plane to London so that she can try to get her ex-boyfriend back. I'm not going to get into specifics of why they broke up. If you want to find out, then you're going to have to grab a copy of this book. You won't regret it. It's a real page turner. Anyway, on the plane, she meets Chris, and Chris is just instantly infatuated with her. Maita is only, I would say, mildly interested in him. Her core focus is on getting her ex-boyfriend back, so she's not really putting herself in the market to start trying to date other guys just yet. What I really like about Maita's character is whether it is going to school to help improve her life or her love life, she doesn't play games for 10 or 20 chapters trying to figure out what she wants. She knows what she wants and does her best to try to make it happen.
There is more that I want to talk to all of you about involving Maita, but before I can get into that, we need to take a moment to discuss Chris.
When Chris first thinks about dating Maita, he immediately knows because Maita is a black woman, he's going to have problems with his family members, who would definitely not be happy with the knowledge he was with a black woman. There is also an issue with Chris's friend, who does say how other races are greedy, lazy, and stealing all the jobs. When Chris makes it clear to his friend he is dating a black woman, his friend apologizes and invites Chris and Maita to hang out with him and his girlfriend. Chris takes this as a sign of progress and thinks his friend has accepted Maita. He even tells Maita that his friend is not really racist and a good person. Maita wisely corrects Chris and tells him that his friend is indeed a racist. What his friend is doing is just tolerating Maita's presence so he could continue to be friends with Chris, the same way she was tolerating Chris's friend for Chris's sake, even though she can tell Chris's friend and his girlfriend don't want Maita around solely because she is black. I'm happy the author brings this up because often issues people face when dating outside their race are treated like not a big deal, when in truth a lot of interracial couples have to not only deal with relationship issues but racism and other prejudices that do try to cause extra problems in their relationship.
Chris and Maita's relationship also does have one more very serious issue to contend with, and that is Chris's tendency to exhibit violence towards Maita. I can't get into detail of what exactly Chris did to her, but it is a big problem in their relationship and something that, in general, cannot be ignored.
Maita is flung into a sad situation of an abusive relationship, and there are not really any good options for her to get out of it. I applaud Alice for her willingness to discuss this uncomfortable subject of living with an abusive partner. Abuse in relationships, sadly, is still a subject that often gets swept under the rug when it comes to stopping the abuse, and a lot of people get hurt because of it.
I've done a whole lot of talking about Chris and Maita, but what about Ade?
Sometime after Ade and Maita broke up, Ade met somebody new. The relationship gets serious to the point that he and his new girlfriend are living together. As I mentioned in the synopsis, Ade later wants to get back together with Maita. As you learn what caused his relationship with his new girlfriend to turn sour, there are individual reasons to try to keep the relationship alive. When it was clear it was time to end things between them, I found pretty interesting. Ade tried to keep the relationship alive out of not wanting to lose what they had, to only have to accept the relationship actually was nothing more to him than a rebound from losing Maita. As for his girlfriend, I could tell you her reasons for trying to stay with Ade, but I think it's better that you read and discover the answer for yourself.
Turning Tables, I feel, is a story that really just resonated with me. There are scenes in the story where the characters are talking about challenges they have to deal with when they immigrated to a new country in order to have better opportunities. And some of these things that they brought up were things that my father brought up to me that he faced when he migrated to the United States from Ghana. And the way the author implemented them was just very beautifully done, and I feel really helped give her story more meaning. Anyway, my lovelies, time to get to the rating. So, when it comes to Turning Tables, I am giving it the rating of 5 butterflies out of 5. This story was a really gripping read, and I'm telling you, my lovelies, right now, if you don't go out and buy a copy of this book, you are not doing yourself any favors. Now, if you've made it to this part of the video, I would like to say thank you, and please give me a like, leave me a comment, and if you have not yet, smack that subscribe button like an OG money, and don't forget to give that little notification bell a ring. And with that, my lovelies, this video has come to a wrap. Now if you please come with me as we dance into a world of magic.